All right. So the hatred that I have gotten, not hatred, the animosity that I have gotten in my little videos on my little insignificant channel here have been very telling of Nintendo. And here's the thing. Nintendo and Apple have the same fan base, type of fan base. I feel like they have the same fan base. And people are absolutely blind to the fact of how these companies operate and how little they actually care about you. And so they have these minions that will come after you in the comment section. Before me, it was everybody else, and I'm sure they're doing it to anybody who talks negatively about Nintendo, or they're pointing out the fact that, you have no subscribers, so you have no idea what you're talking about. Like, that makes any sense. I have bought every single Nintendo up to this point, whether through my parents getting it for me, or Santa, but then I started buying it from Nintendo 64 on every system. Although the GameCube I did get for my birthday. So that out of the way, every single, not every variant, but every single system that they have ever made, I have owned for at least a year. Like there's some of them, GameCube, I really just could not get into that system. That wasn't the GameCube's fault. I just got into it way late, and it seemed late into the game by that point, and it was just, that was no fault of the GameCubes. Actually, the GameCube was most people's favorite system. Since the late Wii into the Wii U, into the Switch era, is even probably earlier that is when you started seeing a lot of these disgusting practices by Nintendo. And the Switch 2, I was looking forward to so much. I really was. And ironically, after I made my last video, whenever it was on Saturday, I think it was, I got the orange screen of death on my Switch, my original Switch. Luckily, I held the power down for 20 seconds and it reset itself. I just thought it was ironic. And I wouldn't have bought another Switch. I'd have just waited to get a Switch 2. So it would have been ironic. And I still might get a Switch 2. Who knows? What my videos have been saying is it's just how many years did you have? How big of a team? You don't even have a team focusing on two systems anymore, because back in the Wii U day, you had a huge divide in the company. You had some people focusing on 3DS, some people focusing on Wii U, or during the Wii days, you had the same thing for every iteration of every system that they've ever launched that they've ever had. They've had two systems that they've been working on. Now, they don't have that. They don't have that. They have one system that they're working on. It was ultra successful in the Switch. And they couldn't seem to dedicate enough people or whatever to making a couple of good launch games. That was my thing. And then to charge $80, and then it's like $90 in other countries. Everybody wants to blame the tariffs. These games are more expensive in other countries. There's some countries that are charging $90 for the physical and $80 for the digital. That is ridiculous. It's one game. And granted, this game will last you for the lifetime of that system, but it's ridiculous, and it sets a precedent that is going to get ugly, because games like Grand Theft Auto 6 cost that company probably close to $1 billion, if not over $1 billion. How much do they want to charge you? A lot. And so now they're going to see, well, Nintendo, their fans complained a lot, but they all bought it anyway. So it really doesn't matter. That is the point of these videos. It is ridiculous. They had no launch titles whatsoever other than games that you've already bought. And now they're charging you more for these games that you've already bought. And then they're actually not even reprinting the game, which I'm fine with. They pulled all of the Switch 1, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. Everybody was noticing. You couldn't find in the stores anywhere. And the prices of the physical copies were going up on eBay. And all they did was they pulled those games and they put them in a new packaging, and they're selling them back as an $80 game with a code in it. So when you buy these, if you're a physical collector and you go to play this game in 20 years and you don't have any of these downloads, You're not going to be able to get any of this, anything for it. So your Switch 2 is a brick. That is the point of this whole thing. And the confusion, the mass confusion, and the lack of giving a shit that they have mass confusion. Nobody in Nintendo seems to care that everybody's scrambling around because they know what. Just like the few comments that I got on here. Well, you're an idiot. You don't have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, you got like 3 followers, so we're going to listen to you. Yeah, don't listen to the voice of reason just because they got a small channel. This was a side project of mine because I like video games. Just show me how much of a sheeple you are and how much you're just going to fork over your money no matter what Nintendo does to you. Congratulations. Read these comments. It's ridiculous. So anyway, that was the point of these videos is look at what Nintendo's, especially this launch, doing. And why do you want to? What are you buying? Like again, that orange screen of death that happened on Saturday night with my Switch. If it was a true orange screen of death, and I actually got that Switch on launch day, so I've had it a while. I would just buy the Switch 2 because it'd play all my games, and I still might buy the Switch 2. The point of these videos is this ridiculous. They had all of this time. They have no games for this thing whatsoever that you haven't already played other than Mario Kart. And Mario Kart honestly looks like they just did a few little tweaks, added a new system around. They're even reusing some of the old maps. This company does not know how to make a new game. All of their games look exactly the same as the last game. There's no upgrade at all. Think about first-party Sony games. Look how those games look amazing. And they just keep getting better and better and better and better. And graphically and story-wise, Nintendo games just stay the exact same. They're the exact same game. You just keep buying the exact same game all over again. Mario Kart, let's just drive around, the same courses that we've had since Nintendo 64. Actually, they've remade some of the courses from Super Nintendo. Is the point of the video. The point of the video is they just keep reselling you the same thing. You keep buying it. And then now they're charging $20 more than they did for the other games that you've already beaten that you're going to buy again. So that is the point of the video. The point of the video is this is getting ridiculous. There's absolutely no reason for this. You've got a huge studio. You made tons of money. Over 150 million Switch 1s sold. You can't tell me that you don't have a little extra cash to make a game that looks different than the games that you've always keep making. Other than lighting and shading, most of the games that they displayed, like the Kirby and the Donkey Kong, could have probably played on the Wii U. If it weren't, the only thing that's saving these guys is the amount of shading and lack of clipping and a couple other different things that they got going on, lighting, atmospheric things that are going on, which do add to a game, but it's the same graphic. It's like they don't know how to make anything other than that. And there's other companies that do the cell shading kind of graphic way better than they do. It's just ridiculous. It's like they've gotten to a certain point. Everybody knows it. And here's the thing. It looks cheap. And what have Nintendo systems notoriously been lately? It's cheap. They're the family system. They look like a family thing. They look like something that they're selling to your 10-year-old. That's the point of it. They don't ever go outside of their little microscopic area of expertise. They don't ever think to go outside of that. I mean, Pokemon really has looked the same since the first Pokemon. It looks a little bit, it's colored now, and there's a few different things. It's ridiculous to me. There's just no oomph to Nintendo to just regurgitate the same thing, just kind of like I have said the same thing over and over again in this video. Maybe I'm Nintendo. I don't know. But that was the point of my making these videos, and everybody's like, well, you're hopping on the bandwagon. No, I'm tired of it. I really am. Like the video game industry as a whole has just been reselling us the same games over and over and over again. but at least there's like differences in other companies' games, like the Nintendo's. I mean, literally looks like it could play on a three generations back system if the shading and the lighting wasn't the way it is. Anyway, I'm not going to keep repeating myself, but this is just ridiculous. I mean, if you were charging accordingly, like the Donkey Kong game looks like a $39 game. The Kirby game looks like a $39 game. The Mario Kart World game looks like a $59 game. At best. It's the same game that you keep buying over and over and over again. Anyway, I've repeated myself enough. Talk to you in the next one. Peace.